Hello, Devoted Geeks. Dallas here, and we are at SquadCon 2019 right now. You guys have been seeing all kinds of pictures and video coming out on our Instagram and our Facebook. And today for Extra Tuesday, we are interviewing this man right here. So after our intro, we're going to be talking with him. All right, guys. So if you don't know who this is, then you need to right now click the links in the description down below and go to GodSquad Church and Souzy Live, because this is the man, the legend, the myth himself, the flying penguin, Matt Souza, Pastor
right.
Souzy. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing incredible, man. It's an honor to be here with you. I love having you and Celeste here at the event, and it's just an honor to be joining the Devoted Geeks. I follow you guys on Instagram, keeping up the ministry, and I get to be on it. Super surreal. Dude, super glad to be here.
We're so glad to have you here. Just fun side story. When Celeste and I first started Geek Devotions, I did a mass search of every other geek ministry I could find. You were one of the first people I found.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of what we do, some of it was inspired by you. So I want you to know what we do here. Some of it's thanks to you. Wow. So if it's the crap stuff, then it wasn't you, I promise.
Hey, I've got some of those too.
So if you like what we do, blame him. If you don't like what we do, that's on us. But anyways, Souzy, I want to encourage you to have fun while we talk about this.
Yeah,
I want you to get kind of real with our people. Yeah. Because you do something that a lot of people don't understand, and that is you reach gamers. You reach a community of people who just don't know what's happening. I remember a couple years ago, some magazine had come out with an article about you, and they said you had some astronomical number of people who got saved in your ministry a couple years ago. It's like 100 some odd people got saved. They made a dedication to say, I'm going to follow Jesus. Yeah. And that is amazing. How did this start? How did this happen?
All of it honestly started with God having a work in my heart. Because I grew up playing video games my whole life. And if you're watching this, whether you're a geek, whether you're a gamer, or whether you're kind of a mixture of both, I think this whole culture has that stigma of the world thinks it's too different. Right. So we should kind of cast it aside. Especially about video games, a really negative stigma of, well, if you play video games, then you're probably going to end up being 35 in your mother's basement. Right. Super irresponsible without a job. Yeah. And I mean, the reality is there's always a little bit of truth to every stigma, things like that. But it's not the case for everyone. And because that was a stigma, I was honestly too ashamed to admit I played video games because I didn't want people to think that about me. Oh, yeah. And especially going to Bible college and working at a church as a pastor in a suit and tie. It seems funny, but honestly, there was a joke. There was a real reality for me that I was afraid. What are people going to find out? What are people going to think of me if they find out that I go home and play video games? Yeah. And so it hid it from me for a long time. And what God began to really help me understand, that I didn't realize that it was an identity issue. Yeah. And I needed to learn the truth that I'm loved by God no matter what. And that my identity is not found in the fact that I'm a gamer or not a gamer. Right. The fact that I'm a child of God. That's right. And when God helped me to really accept who I am, be a nerd and proud or be a geek and proud, right? Then I really begin to dive into the online world and ask myself, how many other people are feeling the way that I'm feeling? Right. Feeling ostracized, feeling isolated. Because I'm the typical guy that grew up playing video games alone in my room. Yeah. Nobody. My brother was not a gamer, so we didn't really connect on that. My parents, they didn't really hate me gaming, but this is probably a waste of time. This is probably not going to amount to anything in your adult life, which, by the way. And so it just kind of felt alone most of my life. And in that, I began to literally just Google like how to get connected with people online. Yeah. And that was when I found a platform which is owned by Amazon, Twitch.tv. The first time I ever tuned in, I was watching a streamer by the name of Summit1G. Okay. Very, very famous streamer. He's been on the platform since the beginning. Wow. And when I first joined it, I didn't really understand what it was, to be honest. Right. There was 25,000 people watching him. Wow. And the funny part is I thought that it was just a bunch of people talking in the chat, watching a YouTube video. So I was like, oh, okay, so they're like watching it together. Right. So instead of like being alone in your room and watching the video by yourself. Right. They're like together. And I was like, this is cool. It's like community. And then people are asking questions in the chat. I was like, oh, cool. Look, they're even like asking each other questions. Right. And then one of the questions that was asked, the guy on the screen answered the question. I was blown away. Yeah. I couldn't believe that this was a live event happening right now, and I just thought to myself, man, there's 25,000 people. That's bigger than 99% of the churches in the United States.
Absolutely.
In the world.
Absolutely.
And I just began to ask myself the question, man, how do we get the gospel to people that don't leave their house? And for gamers around the world, they're doing what I did. They're sitting alone, right? Gamers, especially in such an unchurched culture today, where people they're not going to church. They're not interested in God. gamers are the kind of people that you're just not going to catch them at Starbucks sitting down and hanging out. You're going to catch them in their own living room. Mm-hmm. The reality is we can't just kick people's door down, get in, and start telling them about Jesus. So how do we meet them where we're at?
Right.
How do we do what Jesus did? Jesus left where he was, came down to where we were at, and connected with us on our level.
Right.
Instead of expecting us to be on his, when in reality, if he didn't come to our level, we could never get to his level.
Right.
And through that, I just asked my question, what if somebody went on and just started playing games, being in a relational place on the same level? Hey, we're just a bunch of nerds, a bunch of gamers. Let's talk about our PCs. Let's talk about life. And use that as a relationship building tool that can lead us to conversations about faith in Christ. And it's just been an incredible journey. Literally, when I first started streaming, I remember one of the first guys that ever tuned in. This is no joke. This is a real story. His name was XOXO Satan.
Wow.
Tuned into my stream. Literally, probably first 10 people to ever come in. And he's the only one watching at that point. Right. Just starting on the Xbox, didn't have any cool lights or cameras. Or anything. Didn't look as good as this one. And he just writes in the chat, hey, I just want to let you know I just got off the phone with the devil. And he said that you're going to hell.
Wow.
And I was like... And I just took that moment. I just hit pause on the game, and I just started having a conversation with them. I shared God's love with them. I took a second and prayed with them.
Right.
And I'd love to tell you that he gave his life to Christ, and we had a huge Pentecostal party right then and there, right? But we didn't. But what he did say was, he said, hey, I'll be honest with you, man. You know, I don't really believe in God, but if I did, I'd want to believe in the one that you just told me about. And from that moment, that's when I realized, man, this guy has zero interest in God.
Right.
And I don't know if he has any other opportunity to hear the story that I just shared with him. And it was within the first 10 people I realized we're really onto something.
Yeah.
And we've got to go on this platform that is dark, that's away from God. A lot of the gaming community is atheist.
Yeah.
And we've got to share the gospel with people that have never heard it. And because of that, we've just been able to share literally with over 500,000 people.
Right.
500,000 people.
Wow.
About the story of Jesus. And over 1,000 people that we know of have given their lives to follow Jesus, have either gotten plugged into a local church. We've had stories of people getting plugged in their churches, getting water baptized.
That's so awesome.
People getting into our church, being in our online discipleship classes, being a part of our small groups. Right. And now here we are at SquadCon 2019. Yeah. 3 years later. These people in person also getting water baptized. We just celebrated the other night. Yeah. It was really incredible to hear their stories. Cool. And it's just been amazing to see the favor that God, not me, but God has really brought, because it really was just an answer to a problem. Right. That there was a group of people not being reached. Right. And God had a genius idea on how to reach them.
Word. So I'm glad you pointed out the fact that when we first started off, there was like 10 people of it. And one of them was apparently Satan himself. So for those who are like, man, I'm thinking about doing this Twitch thing and getting into this whole gaming thing, whether it's Twitch or Mixer or whatever. What do you advise? What's your advice for them when they're just starting off? Like, you're like, all right, this is the one piece of advice that I wish I had known before I got into Twitch.
Yeah, I would encourage you. The first thing you need to do, if you're really just trying to go for it, we actually just had a conversation with someone downstairs. He was thinking about streaming, and he's like, oh, why don't I want to? I was like, hey, the best thing you can do is honestly just turn on the camera and go for it.
That's it.
We let fear hold us down in so many areas of our life. We've got doubt. Well, what if I'm not funny enough? What if I'm not good enough? I want to promise you something. Your first live stream is not going to be good.
It's going to suck.
It's going to be awful. And so is mine. Because you get better at it.
Right.
With anything that you do, you start off not so great, but you get better. And the reality is your first YouTube video is not going to be the one that goes viral. Right. It's not going to be one that's the highest quality. It's not going to be one that's going to have the best cameras. You're going to need to shoot probably 1,000 videos to make enough money to buy a high quality camera. But you just got to get yourself started out there. I mean, can you imagine the stories in the Bible that we read about these superheroes, these legends that we're talking about this weekend? They just needed to start. Yeah. They just needed to go somewhere. In order to open the Red Sea, Moses needed to open the Red Sea. Right. Wouldn't it get open if he didn't try to open it with God's power. And I want to encourage you. I know that you're stepping into new territory, trying to stream, going somewhere you've never been. But the people that God's going to use you to reach will never be reached if you just don't go to them. Word. You don't need to have all the answers or be the best or be the most photogenic or be the funniest. You just need to go to them. Right. And go to them being you. I think one of the reasons that people are afraid to get started is because they're going, but I'm not like that guy. Yeah. Or I'm not like this girl. But that guy's, man, he's just so witty and quick on camera. Some people don't like witty people. Yeah. Some people just like chill. Like me, I'm high energy. I'm pretty crazy. I dance in a penguin suit in my stream. Right. But some people think the penguin suit is hilarious. Right. Some people are like, that is the cringiest thing I've ever witnessed. And so I'm going to reach people that like the penguin suit. Right. but I'm not going to reach the people that don't like it.
Yeah.
So if you're someone that doesn't dance in a penguin suit, which is probably a very large percentage of you, you're going to reach people that I can't.
Right.
And that's the key.
That's it.
Just getting started with who you are, right, as an individual.
Word.
Thinking that we can't get started with streaming because we don't have cameras or we're not ready.
Right.
Is like thinking that I shouldn't live today because I haven't progressed.
Word.
I'm going to mature from today to tomorrow, the day after. But it doesn't mean that I shouldn't live today. I got to keep going. I'm going to get better. But you just got to start.
Right.
Just get out there, be consistent, put your content out there because the world, it needs your content.
Yeah.
Dallas is doing great content. Celeste behind the camera doing great content. I'm doing mediocre content. But the world needs your content because if mine was a one size fits all, we wouldn't need anyone else.
Exactly.
But that's not the body of Christ.
That's it.
It's not the foot. It's not just the hand. It's all of them together.
That's right.
So I could just get yourself out there, get started, let God use you.
Word. Very good. All right. So somebody's like, Dallas, this dude is cool. We like this Pastor Souzy. How do we get a hold of him? How do they get a hold of you?
So many platforms. My name on Twitch is Souzy Live, Souzy Live. You can follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all the good stuff. But especially where you're going to catch me the most is on my live stream, twitch.tv/Souzy Live. And you can join us every Saturday. Actually, we have 2 services now at 1:30 and 7:30 p.m. over at twitch.tv/GodSquad Church. We got a service where we do live music worship. We do some giveaways, and then we share an encouraging message where we use video game analogies to help people understand the truth of the Bible, just like Jesus did. He spoke to people in words they understood.
Word.
We'd love to have you come join us, whether it's on my stream or Saturday day, night service, whatever it may be. We'd love to have you.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, this is Souzy. I want to encourage you guys to go check him out. Again, links will be in the description down below. Maybe something in the card for his YouTube channel.
Ooh.
So, but check him out today. Go and subscribe and be part of his amazing community. All right. So until next time, stay devoted. Peace and love.